M&M's iconic characters, 6 different colored lentils, each with their own personality, have gotten a modern makeover for a quote-unquote more dynamic, progressive world, Mars said Thursday. That's the company. That's not a person, all right? Because there's never a person behind these decisions.
Right.
Okay. The redesign is focused on creating a sense of belonging and community, as well as spotlighting the characters' personalities rather than their gender. The most notable changes include the green M&M's redesign, which will exchange the white-heeled go-go boots she was given in 1997 for quote-unquote cool, laid-back sneakers to reflect her effortless confidence. Mars.
Okay, now I need to interrupt you. Okay, let me translate that for you. Given plain, ordinary gym shoes that match all the other damn characters, so that there's nothing that differentiates her from the others.
Anyway, Mars had.
The lawyer still wears high heels.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be changing too. You never know.
What, the brown one? No, we're getting into the brown one.
Yeah, we're getting into that,
too. Okay. Mars had received criticism for the green M&M's sexy characterization. The green M&M will also be better represented to reflect confidence and empowerment as a strong female and known for much more than her boots. And part of me is thinking, are there like guys out there that were fetishizing the green M&M character with their body pillows?
Okay.
Would you judge me if I had a green M&M body pillow that I went to bed with each night? I'm just.
There's a melts in your mouth joke that goes here, but I'm gonna skip over that. No, I do have to point this out because I don't see any outlet making reference to this, and I think this is, talk about burying the lead on this. The whole shtick behind the green M&M when she was introduced as a character was, you have to go back a little bit to remember that there was this whole kind of fan imagining, urban legend, whatever, that the kids used to talk about where the green M&M had a special meaning, right? You eat the green M&M and it gets you all excited when you go out on your date and that kind of thing. It's like supposed to be an aphrodisiac, right? So that's why when the character was introduced in the commercials, the red M&M says to her, I wanted to ask you a question. Yeah, what? Is it true what they say about you? What? What do they say about me? Being green and all. Yeah, what do they say? That you're lime? And she goes, oh, that's so silly. And then she just kind of laughs it off because he wasn't going to say what we were all thinking when he said, is it true what they say about you? And that was part of the shtick, right? She's in the go-go boots. She's got the bare legs, right? She's the green M&M. She's got the big lashes. In all the panels where you see them all together, she's like in a sexy pose. That's intentional. That was part of who her character was. Now she's been made. Well, we can't emphasize her gender. We've got to have them all looking the same. And now she's going to be wearing slacks. They're going to cover those bare legs with white and put her in gym shoes like all the male characters.
Well,
sensible shoes. She's
saying,
a woman with sensible shoes.
The green M&M does not exist to look nice for you. All right? Can we move on now?
Is she not allowed some agency? Is she not allowed to look how she wants to look? That's my point. This is not progressive. This is absolutely regressive. It used to be, hey, she's a woman. She deserves to be able to dress however she wants. And just because she's dressing provocatively does not give you a right to, cosplay is not consent and all that kind of stuff. And blah, 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 blah.
It's almost like they don't know what they want. But anyway.
Look, I mean, if you were a second wave feminist, you are all about this kind of thing. This is a woman being a woman because she chooses to be a woman. And if she wanted to wear sensible shoes, she'd have worn them. But she has every right to wear the go-go boots. And now apparently that's not a good thing. We're not allowed to do that anymore.
Moving on. The green M&M and the brown M&M will have a more friendly relationship, showcasing a force supporting women. The two characters' dynamic will have them throwing shine and not shade. Oh, the company said. The two characters have sometimes been at odds in advertisements. But
Wait, which two characters? I missed that.
Brown, the Brown M&M, the one with the glasses. Maybe
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Brown
yeah.
would say a snide comment or something. The two characters have sometimes been odds in advertisements, but they have also been seen as friends or more than friends in others, like this viral tweet from 2015
Here we go.
showing the two holding hands on a beach. Just because two women are holding hands does not necessarily mean they're in a lesbian relationship, but, not that
True.
whatever, it's a free country, right?
The Brown M&M's problematic too, because they had one commercial where they were joking about everyone thinking that she was nude because she was brown, right? As if the candy coating is their clothing, and she's, I'm just wearing a brown candy coating. I'm not nude.
Mars also added that the Brown M&M's heels will be lowered to a professional heel height. Do you hear that,
there
Natter?
you go. So even she's losing the height on her heels.
Listen, this is important. Okay?
This is really important stuff. You're right. This is where our focus should be when it comes to the chocolate industry. Am I right?
The orange M&M, who has an anxious personality, will embrace his true self, worries and all. But the orange M&M shoelaces will now be tied to represent his cautious nature. According to Mars, the orange M&M is one of the most relatable characters with Generation Z, which is the most anxious generation.
No.
Now,
Unfortunately, they say all these things and they say why they're doing this, but what the actual outcome is, all of these characters are being made the same. The woman is being made to look like the man. They're all going to dress with the same shoes. The shoes are all going to be tied. We're going to lower the high heels. We're bringing everyone to the middle. This is a Harrison Bergeron situation. Everything about this is reductionary to everyone involved. Even the fictional characters are being reduced to, these elements that are completely ridiculous and meaningless. Nobody has any agency. You just have to conform. Shut up and conform. You can't be a woman, you've got to conform. You can't be a man, you have to conform. Everyone's got to be exactly the same.
the red M&M, who has shown bully tendencies in the past, will be more kind to his co-characters. What do you mean bully? What has he done?
I would not be surprised if we don't start seeing the same thing happening with Bert and Ernie. One is bullying and the other one is, always taking the flack, and that's not fair. And I mean,
this is an abusive relationship they have. Kids are watching this. Well, someone think of the kids.
Well, they are. They're trying to brainwash the kids into everyone's got to be milquetoasty. No one can have an opinion. No one can be different. Be the same. Don't ever pick on anybody. Don't ever be contrary to anybody about anything. If you are, that's fake news. Don't ever disagree with the establishment.
Mars will also include imagery of M&Ms of all shapes and sizes, moving away from only one body size, and it will remove the prefixes from the characters' names in order to focus on their personalities rather than their gender. Currently, only the brown M&M has a prefix, Ms. Brown, on the M&M website. The company hopes their changes
So
will
what the
show
hell are they going to call her, Ms. M&M? I mean, do they have no names now?
The company hopes their changes will show the importance of self-expression and power of community. Okay?
Okay, so what they need to do is they just got to stop coloring the M&Ms. They should all just be brown. Okay?
That's how they were in World War II, wasn't it? They were just brown, they were one color when they first started. We'll just go back to the way things were.
And what's even crazier, someone pointed out on Twitter, they put up the picture of all the M&Ms and saying, they are a literal rainbow and they're not diverse enough? Yeah. But what it comes down to as we start to pivot on this is what they want you to focus on. And this is what they want you to gripe about. Because heaven forbid you should realize there's actual problems that we should be addressing in the chocolate industry.
Okay, Mars, Nestle, and Hershey to face child slavery lawsuit in the United States. 8 children who claimed they were used as slave labor on cocoa plantations in Ivory Coast have launched legal action against the world's biggest chocolate companies. They accuse the corporations of aiding and abetting the illegal enslavement of thousands of children on cocoa farms in their supply chain. Nestle, Cargill, Barry Callebaut, Mars, Olam, Hershey, and Mondelez have been named as defendants in a lawsuit filed in Washington, D.C. by human rights firm International Rights Advocates on behalf of 8 former child slaves who say they were forced to work without pay on cocoa plantations in the West African country. The plaintiffs, all of whom are originally from Mali and are now adults, are seeking damages for forced labor and further compensation for unjust enrichment, negligent supervision, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. It is the first time that a class action of this kind has been filed against the cocoa industry in a United States court. Citing research by U.S. State Department, the International Labor Organization, and UNICEF, among others, the court documents allege the plaintiff's experience of child slavery is mirrored by that of thousands of other minors. Ivory Coast produces 45% of the global supply of cocoa. That's an awful lot. A core ingredient in chocolate. The production of cocoa in West Africa has long been linked to human rights abuses, structural poverty, and low pay and child labor. A central allegation of the lawsuit is that the defendants, despite not owning the cocoa farms in question, knowingly profited from the illegal work of children. According to the submissions, the defendants' contracted suppliers were able to provide lower prices than if they had employed adult workers with proper protective equipment. In the legal claim, all 8 plaintiffs describe being recruited in Mali through trickery and deception before being trafficked across the border to cocoa farms in Ivory Coast. There, they were forced to work, often for several years or more, with no pay, no travel documents, and no clear idea of where they were or how to get back to their families. That's really despicable.
Yep. And this comes down to, there is something to be said for capitalism. There's also something to be said for this kind of capitalism run amok, right? I mean, there's got to also be integrity, right? And we had an administration that talked about how they wanted to bring jobs back to the United States. Well, this is the problem. The reason these jobs leave the United States, well, there's a couple reasons, but one is cheap labor. Hey, we can, for all the talk that we do about slavery and how wrong slavery is and how evil slavery was and all the companies that were enriched by slavery, right? You're still buying products that are made from slavery.
And I think what's disturbing about this, though, is that this is obviously the sort of thing where they just, they look the other way, and now probably in the court proceedings they either have to plead.
But we're good people. We
didn't know they were doing this over
We
there.
want to make sure that people have a living wage. Let's raise the minimum wage. Meanwhile, slave labor.